Are you excited yet overwhelmed in the new year? Have you made too many New Year's resolutions or commitments? It's not uncommon to bite off more than we can chew. This can affect us in our personal lives, and it certainly can affect us in our professional ones as well. You don't need to go through challenges alone. Join me for today's show, episode 191, Why You Need a Career Coach. I was an engineer, and in 2008, lost my job due to the economic collapse. Jobs were scarce. I didn't know where to turn to get help updating my resume. Online services and coaches charge hundreds, even thousands of dollars. I took matters into my own hands and learned how to craft interview-winning resumes. Shortly later, I landed a job with a Fortune 500 company. I've helped many achieve similar success. Now I share my tips to create interview-winning resumes, interviewing excellence, and high-performance growth strategies on my podcast, Career Growth Made Easy. Welcome back to the Career Growth Made Easy podcast. I'm your host, Craig Ansell. We're rocking into episode 191 today. It's going to be an exciting show, and it's titled, Why You Need a Career Coach. You know, coaching comes in many forms. For example, there's informal coaching, what I offer through these free podcasts. Then there's formal coaching, which can be one-on-one or through group coaching sessions. Late last year, I was asked to speak at Siemens Energy during an inclusion and diversity lunch. We took a deep dive into mentoring, and we also compared and contrasted it to coaching. Mentors can be assigned, or you can seek them out, but what value do they provide? Mentors can help identify your weaknesses, and they can put plans together to improve upon them. You may know your strengths, but you might be overlooking areas where you fall short. Mentors can help you grow through regular meetings. If you'd like to know more about mentors, listen in to episode 70. That's episode 70, Mentors Help You Grow. But for today's show, let's talk about our key focal point, why you need a coach. Number one, you wouldn't be listening to today's show if you weren't interested in self-improvement. So let's take advantage of that. Do you know the areas you thrive in and the areas you barely survive in? Kind of catchy, huh? Let's unpack both of those for a moment or two. Talk about when your heart really fires up, when you really feel excited and your smile seems to be the greatest. When would you feel that is? For me, it's during my day job as a project manager. I support and service power plants worldwide. But interestingly enough, I had talks with various members of my leadership team within the company and externally as I travel and work with other folks through coaching. And something unique was raised, and it was brought to my attention over the past years. They said, Craig, you definitely smile when you talk about being a project manager and supporting your end customers, but you seem to smile just a little bit more, light up just a little bit more when it comes to mentoring or coaching. That led me to some self-reflection on what really drives me. Now, I have to say, it caught me by surprise to hear that feedback, but I thought about it and kind of explored on it. I'm a person by nature that loves to solve problems, and if those problems are other people's, I'm always happy to lend a helping hand. If it's something technical that I can be involved in, from home improvement or repair, vehicle diagnosis or repair, I love those kind of technical things and challenges. That's probably part of what my brain, or how my brain works as an engineer, an electrical engineer. I love problem solving, looking at the future, designing things, creating, solving problems, creating solutions. So how about for you though? Regardless of your job title, what do you do on a daily basis? And I want to back up a minute on that statement I made, regardless of your job title. I want you to know, at least from my viewpoint, your job title does not define you. Let me say that again. Your job title does not define you. Now, moving forward, what do you do on a daily basis? Are you happy where you work? Are you happy and satisfied with the role that you play at your job? Or are you looking for more? Are you wanting to give more? Potentially giving more may allow you to receive more in the sense of responsibility and reward, potentially compensation improvements, whether it's in benefits or pay. Now, unpacking this a little bit further, have you tried to excel at work and just haven't found the right avenue? Have others around you been promoted seemingly based on their network or connections, but not because of their talents or skills? I have to say, though, this is a tricky slope because your or my viewpoint is just that, a single viewpoint. We won't know the whole story unless we had both sides of it. However, if you've worked with someone long enough and you've had enough time to form your opinions about them, you might be able to gauge their work ethic as well. That would include your overall view of their contribution, especially if you work alongside them. If you feel you routinely go above and beyond but aren't getting noticed, this may be a solid reason why you need a career coach. The right career coach can help you unpack your work situation and provide bite-sized, actionable steps towards a positive, progressive path forward. There's a lot of P's there. Positive, progressive path forward. While it's not therapy, sometimes just sitting down, even virtually, with a career coach will help you air out what's bothering you. This can potentially lead to identifying the root cause of your challenges at your job. It could also open up new understandings if you're unhappy at work. Sometimes career growth or career recovery suggestions will work at your current job. It would seem that the work environment would be supportive and your corrective actions may lead to career growth for you. Other times it might be where you're working. It's just a placeholder. Just something to fill the time and pay the bills. I know that doesn't sound attractive, but some of us may be in those positions. I have over the years. It may not be your ideal job that you're in, but alternately, your work environment could be increasing in toxicity. If your work environment is unhealthy, it could lead to increased stress, fear, anxiety, and even long-term medical conditions. Now, mind you, I'm not a therapist nor a doctor. So if you have these feelings of working in a toxic or detrimental environment, you should seek the proper resources, doctors, therapists, counselors, as needed. Regarding career coaching, though, just talking about your situation may help you identify an improved path forward. Many times it can be a modified path at your existing position. Other times, though, it may require a lateral move within your company. Perhaps there are personality conflicts within your group or team. Perhaps you're not compatible with your team leader or manager. Now, this may seem strange, but staying where you're unhappy can work out. Now, let me explain that. Meaning, it's not your overall company's environment. It's that of your immediate team and colleagues, that from which you need a change from. It may be there is a group with a different manager that you can work for by simply interviewing and snagging that role without looking externally. By the way, many companies prefer this internal job transition as opposed to attrition, which is the loss of employees. The benefits of you moving to a new role far outweigh the costs of you leaving your role and then the company advertising, interviewing, and onboarding a fresh new candidate to replace you. That new employee will likely not be effective at what they do for several weeks, even up to several months, depending on the complexity of the role and number of tasks and activities that are assigned. Other times, though, it requires more drastic measures, like looking outside your current company. This can be the case if there's no upward movement for you, no training opportunities on the horizon, no opportunities for growth either. This is tricky because you want to be the one that will control your destiny. If you start looking elsewhere, you might start to drop off with your performance at work, and you got to be careful, it could be noticed. Try not to let this happen. Even though you're unhappy, try not to leave on a sour note. This would be an ideal case to work with a qualified career coach. They should sit down with you and be able to identify your challenges, provide several potential options for you, and once you've selected, then support your transition. If you need to do this seamlessly, transfer seamlessly from one job to another, such as at a new company, a lot of activity has to happen for you to be successful at it. Sure, you could say, I quit my current job and I'll find another. But let me ask you, at what cost? How long will you be in between jobs, quote, quote, right? In between jobs. This is where advanced preparation really comes into play. It will significantly help you with your mental health, such as reducing stress, fear, anxiety. And by the way, that fear comes from fear of the unknown. You don't know what's out there. Where will I go? What will I do? What are my next steps? These might be some of the phrases playing in the back of your mind, kind of nagging at you. I'm not saying you shouldn't leave somewhere that's toxic or it has a negative environment, but I am saying there's a lot of value in having a qualified career coach to walk with you through these steps and guide you. Also, you can use them as a sounding board. Working with career coaches can help you lead to identifying your true inner drive, pulling the values out of your head that you provided to past and will provide to future employers, and getting those value statements, those value propositions down on paper. I hope you know what I'm talking about. That's right, that dreaded word, getting those value statements down on your resume. Dun, dun, dun. For some reason, nobody wants to talk about resumes until it's too late, until you're in the middle of a job transition, a job loss, or you're so fed up and frustrated that you don't want to move forward. So take it from me, someone that had lost their job due to downsizing and had to go into battle stations mode. Don't wait until it's too late. Find your resume now. See the last time you updated it and consider just making some notes on it to document what changes, what challenges, what hurdles you've overcome in the past, since the last time you updated, the past months, the past years. Any notes you put on it now will help you in the future. While you're looking for your next job, I actually have a coaching program for this, and it's called Targeted Job Coaching. Think of searching for your next job like hitting a bullseye. Your ideal job is in the center of this target, and you need to focus all your efforts, all your activities on hitting that center mark. When you hit that mark, you'll be prepared for the interview and to negotiate, to show your best self-worth, your best values to your future company. Doing so, this should result in you being able to reap a premium when it comes to pay and benefits as you negotiate your job offer. If you'd like to explore your career options, potentially including growth, better pay and benefits, why don't you consider My Discovery Coaching or Targeted Job Coaching? Both are available at craigansell.com/coaching. That's craigancel.com/coaching. You don't need to spend another year stuck somewhere that you're unhappy with, feeling like you should earn more, that you're worth more than they're paying you. Book an appointment today at craigansell.com/coaching. You'll be glad you did. As we wrap up today's show, I remind you to please consider the fact that you could benefit from a career coach. Episode 191 is in the books. Why you need a career coach. I've been your host, Craig Ansell, and I look forward to your comments and feedback, as well as visiting my website, craigansell.com, and going to the coaching tab. Pick from one of 4 types of coaching that best benefits you and start the new year out right. Have a virtual career growth coach in your corner. God bless you. I will talk to you next week, and Happy New Year as we wrap up January 2024. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe to our channel. New episodes every Monday. In the meantime, why don't you follow us on social media at Craig Ansell on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. To book a coaching appointment, download our free guides, or join our email list, check out the links in the description below.